Now I request Shashi ma'am to please come up to the dais for the inaugural address.
Please, we're on the dais here. And, good evening, all of you. Namaste. Can you hear me? Yeah. So, pranam to all my gurus and namaste to all of you faculties here, my students, the ICUS family. So, today we are here to celebrate our prize distribution ceremony, certificates for the rankers. Okay. So, what happens actually when a yajna happens? When we do some big pujas, so it's said that all the Devi Devatas come down to bless you, right? Because all of us are seated with one thought and one intention. Like here, the gurus, the sishyas, teachers, all are here just focused upon astrology, isn't it? Our minds are all one focus. So that becomes a yajna, right? So this is the sort of yajna what is happening today. Definitely, right? It means what? It means we are moving together, isn't it? When all of us are in one thought, so we are moving together, teaching, learning, understanding. It happens only when everybody is there, right? What is a guru without a shishya, and what is the shishya without a guru? We need everybody to progress, isn't it? To move ahead, to learn knowledge, to share knowledge. So that is the reason we have kept today's Divas at Sangachadwam Divas. Many people ask me, what is the meaning of that? So I always say, as astrologers, we should learn a little bit of Sanskrit to understand these small words, isn't it? Because most of our scriptures, most of our knowledge is in Sanskrit only, in the form of verses. To understand that, we need to know Sanskrit a little bit. So I suggest that everybody should learn when you're on this path of learning astrology and all about unknown you're learning. So you need to know a little bit of Sanskrit. Okay. Now a little, let me go back to the time, because this is the first time we are organizing this sort of event after we have started different chapters in Hyderabad. Okay, we started in 2018. Okay, ours is the Sainikpuri chapter, one of the 8 chapters of Hyderabad, and we had few of our faculties and few students, and the first class we had was in a school. It was almost on the 3rd floor, and you'll be surprised, we had senior citizens, old people, some of them, and they would climb all the 3 stairs and come to attend the class. It was very nice. And then later on we started developing classes, more students, Pravina 1, Pravina 2, Visharada 1, Visharada 2. And then what happened? We started the great 220. I think everybody knows, isn't it? Acha, in 2020, we became independent chapters. Before that, it was centers. It was called centers with the center coordinators. But in 2020, we became independent chapters, having a chapter chairperson and executive members. Okay. Then what happened? In 2020, we all know, January 2020, rather March 2020, things came to a standstill after the pandemic broke out, isn't it? It was such a pain, such a dreaded pandemic. We were not at all prepared for that, isn't it? Tragedy had struck in such a big way, resulting in diseases, resulting in deaths, uncertainty, isn't it? Job uncertainty, so many things were happening on. And ironically, it changed our lives in so many ways. We came to understand so many things in life, actually. I think we got a chance to face the facts of life, what is really needed, and how very little we can survive. That was the lesson I think the pandemic taught us. But then a great revolution happened for both the students and the faculties in ICUS. And I'm sure you all know how it happened, because of teaching online. We all started, first of all, the faculty teachers started learning how to teach, right? It was so new for all of us, most of us, because we're all, I mean, some of us are senior citizens and some of us are not tech savvy. We don't know anything about technicalities, about online. So we had to learn everything. We learned from our children, we learned from our neighbors, from our friends. And in the same way, I'm sure even the students, some of the students who were also housewives, right, who didn't know anything about Wi-Fi or online and all, they all also had to learn. It was a real struggle, you know. It was like you have the teething problem when the child grows up. It was so difficult for everybody. But then I think that journey was so beautiful. We learned from 2020 to till this day, there has been a lot of change, lot of improvement, lot of innovations in the way we teach and also in the way you learn. Initially we had, somebody could not log in, somebody's Wi-Fi would go out, somebody's data card wouldn't work. It was a real struggle for us, no? For both the students and the faculties. But slowly, we started learning more of that, and we started, like I said, you know, students make the teacher innovate. Like every student, different type of question, the teacher thinks, okay, how should I teach them? Maybe I should adapt a different method of teaching. So this thing has really, the last 2 years has been a real teaching for all of us. Then the most beautiful that thing happens was, we started growing globally. That was a very beautiful thing that happened. Apart from all the negative things that had happened, for ICAS, it was like, there were many students, many working people who went abroad and got stuck there. They couldn't come back because, you know, all those things. So transport was not available, so many restrictions were there. They got connected to us online and they started studying. That was a very beautiful thing, like they wanted to get attached to their roots and they wanted to learn the Vedic studies. So our ICAS went global. We had students in most of the batches we had from Japan, US, UK, Bahrain, Dubai. So many students got connected, and the only thing was, the only drawback, we feel like we are used to the Guru Shishya Parampara, right? We were not in physical touch with those students. But otherwise, there was a very good rapport and there was a very good learning happening, except for the fact that the teacher and the student were not in physical, touch or in front of each other, which is a part of learning, but then it's better than not learning anything, isn't it? Instead of just cutting off from everybody and not learning anything, I think this gave us a chance for everybody and for ICAS to keep its classes running instead of just closing down. We were there all the time. Classes were being conducted every January, June on all the chapters. So I think that is a great achievement, what we have done. And today we can announce that most of us, I think we started at the same time. It's a 10th batch which has passed out from Visharada. We have 10 different batches which are passed. Every 6 months we have one batch, isn't it? So like that. So we are really very proud of all our students, all our faculties who have made it happen. It's both ways, isn't it? Like they say Upanishad. What is Upanishad? Sitting close to the master, isn't it? So the master gives you knowledge. So sangachadwam is also something like Upanishad only. We need both the people. Like even they say sometimes, you know, knowledge transfers in silence also. When the vibrations are very high, when you really get connected to the master, it just happens in silence also. We have heard so many stories about that also, isn't it? So anyhow, chapters, I mean students from all our chapters branched out into different sections like Vastu, Hastareka, Nadi. Like we kept on adding these branches, and we had students going into all the branches and learning them, gaining knowledge. And we had, as I told you, we have students all over India also, from different states being connected to us. So even culturally, language-wise, Hindi being the common language, Hindi, English, we usually teach in that language, but we also have some local languages. We have some of our chapters, our Hyderabad Telugu language, we also conduct in those also. So here, quality rather than quantity is emphasized. And we can proudly say that the amalgamation of students from diverse areas of lives and professions we have retired government officers, we have housewives, we have MNC employees, and we have students. All of them, actually they shared knowledge even among themselves so beautifully, you know. I have seen that happening in groups when they have exams after class and after the sessions happen, irrespective of the age, irrespective of from where they come from, they blend so beautifully, they share knowledge with each other, they try to uplift people who are students who are weak in that. So I think it's been a beautiful journey, it's been a beautiful growth for all chapters, for ICAS on the whole, I should say. And then Mr. Satyanand, I think he's not yet come, and myself were also privileged to give some presentations on the B.V. Raman webinar on the national network when they happened. And even locally, Dr. Anjaneyulu had started some webinar series. We used to have them on Saturdays, later shifted to Wednesdays. We also gave some presentation during those times also, some of us from our chapter. So I'm really proud to be the chairperson of Sainikpuri, where my students have let me grow, gave me the freedom to grow the way I want to. I'm really, really proud of all of them, and I'm thankful to all of them for being here. Of course, not less to all my gurus who have really encouraged me and given me all the support I needed to just go forward and spread this knowledge. Thank you so much.